Haben wir hier sonst noch jemanden? Ach, das ist er, mit dem wir reden können. Ist halt die Frage. Ja, ich will mich aber erstmal umgucken. Hier ist Tagebuch. Liebes Tagebuch, heute schlug mein Vater vor, ich soll Tagebuch schreiben, um mich abzulenken, während wir alle mit dem plötzlichen und schrecklichen Verschwinden meiner Schwester zu kämpfen haben. Als pflichtbewusste Tochter werde ich dem natürlich nachkommen. Die folgende Zeit enthalten meine intimsten Geheimnisse. Ich weiß, dass ihr dies liest, Vater. Ich bin vielleicht jung, aber haltet mich nicht für dumm. Wir haben alles Recht auf unsere Geheimnisse. Es sind hier. Ach so. Mhm. Ein Messinggefäß, das eine Art Puder fürs Make-up enthält. Okay. Schön. Flakon. Achso, nee. Ein kleiner Flakon, der ein rudimentäres Parfüm aus Blumen und Öl enthält. Messingspiegel. Das Messing wurde zu einem rudimentären Spiegel poliert, der bei Auftragung von Make-up eingesetzt wurde. Ein Tintenfass aus Keramik, die Tinte scheint aus Ruß und Wasser hergestellt worden zu sein. Da haben wir ihn ja. Hallo.
Citizen?
Ja. Ja, die Frage, sind das alles Menschen gewesen, die vorher gelebt haben? Bevor die, wie viel waren es? 23? Gekommen sind. Centius und Malelos, der gleiche Mister, lediglich anders riecht.
What were you two talking about?
Ja? Entschuldigung, wie bitte?
Don't play dumb. I saw you. Having a shady little chat with old man Centius up on his balcony. What's he offering you? Money? Favours? What's your vote worth to him?
Er hat nicht versucht, sich meine Stimme zu erkaufen. Wir haben nicht über die Wahl geredet. Was ist es euch wert? Ja, ich will erstmal sagen, er hat nicht versucht, sich meine Stimme zu kaufen.
What? You're throwing your lot in with him for free then? That's even worse.
Was?
Mark my words, Malleolus is gonna be magistrate by the end of the day. And if I tell him you've sided with that feeble old has-been, that you've been trying to undermine his hard-won victory, you'll have picked the wrong patron. Got it?
Ich will keinen Ärger.
Good. Then stay out of it.
Danke für die herzliche Begrüßung. Ich werde jetzt gehen. Gut, darf ich einmal ein paar Fragen stellen?
Can't hurt.
Was ist eure Geschichte?
The name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You go through me.
Warum seid ihr wie ein Gladiator gekleidet?
Why? Because I am a gladiator. That's why.
Why? Okay, ihr seid nicht mal ansatzweise näher in der Arena.
You want to see me fight? Keep running your mouth, fatuous cunners.
Das war, glaube ich, eine Beleidigung. Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
When Malleolus wins the election, yeah? This place will change. You won't even want to
Britischer
leave.
Akzent, oder? Oder englischer? Ja, englischer Akzent. Britischer Akzent. Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
I think it's gone on long enough. And Malleolus is going to put an end to it once he's elected.
Wie will er das machen?
He's going to announce it in his victory speech. Just you wait and see.
Klingt toll. Wie kann ich irgendwie helfen?
We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Just stay out of our way, and we won't have a problem.
Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben? Das ist natürlich eine sehr logische Frage, die ich jetzt stellen werde.
Malleolus, of course. If old man Centius can't even protect his own daughter, how can we trust him to protect us?
Ich möchte gern Maleus
Too
treffen.
bad. He's busy. Unless... No. You don't look like you could afford it.
Hallo? Sich was leisten?
I'm glad you asked. See, he's a busy man, and this is an important day. He'll be inside practicing his victory speech for tonight. Left me strict instructions he doesn't want to be disturbed. So if you want to see him, I'll need something valuable in return.
Ist es nicht eine Sünde, Bestechungsgelder zu verlangen?
Bribe? That's such an ugly word. What I'm looking for is more of a tribute to me, your soon-to-be patron.
In Ordnung, was wollt ihr?
Dunno. Something good.
Ich werde sehen, was ich tun kann.
Just make it good.
Wegen des Tributs, den ihr wollt.
Yeah? What have you got for me?
Vergesst es, ich finde einen anderen Weg. Ich weiß nicht, was ich tun
Just
kann.
make it good.
Okay, ich werde jetzt gehen.
Whatever. Just remember, I'll be watching.
I've been watching you. Aber habt ihr denn nicht das hier gesehen, ne? Die sind ja, also sind keine richtigen Liegestütze. Vor allen Dingen, er geht ja viel zu extrem mit seinem Bein nach unten. Ja, macht doch mal bitte ordentlich Liegestütze, wenn ihr schon Gladiator seid. Das sieht mir doch hier komplett... Guck mal, er ist nicht mal mit dem Oberkörper. Die müssen eine Linie sein, eine Linie. Und nicht hier so ein... Oh Gott, vergesst es einfach. So, warte mal. Ich habe doch hier eine Frau laufen sehen. Im weißen Kleid. In einem wunderschönen weißen Kleid. Vielleicht könnte man hier hochklettern, wenn sie nur mein Gewicht tragen könnte. Okay. Oh Gott. Lassen Sie mich rein! Okay. Wenn sie mein Gewicht halten könnte, dann muss ich wahrscheinlich ein bisschen abnehmen, oder?
Hey! You're not thinking about going into the cistern, are you?
Ja, warum?
Nobody's told you about Hannibal? Ugh, why do I have to do everything round here? So, there was this guy called Hannibal, right? Funny accent. Used to go down into the cisterns looking for junk he could clean up and sell. One day, a few weeks back, he comes out and tells me the cisterns are haunted. Said he could hear spirits wailing. Of course, nobody believed him, because who trusts a Carthaginian, right? Anyway, a few days later, he goes back in. And hours go by, and he hasn't come back out, yeah? So I go down after him, and it's dark. But in the distance, I can just make out his body, sprawled out on the ground. And hunched over him was something that made my blood run cold. No word of a lie. I saw a creature. Like the corpse of a man who'd been flayed. And it was eating Hannibal.
Hätte das nicht die goldene Regel gebrochen?
If it was a man, maybe. But I swear on my life this was no man. More like a Strix. Or some Versipelus that feeds on human flesh. I didn't stick around to see which.
Was habt ihr getan?
What any sane person would have done. I legged it out of there and put a sign at the door to warn the others.
Das war eine tolle Geschichte, aber ich gehe dennoch darunter.
Without a weapon? Well, it's your funeral.
Warte mal, kann ich hier speichern? Ja. Ich will mir ja selber ein Bild draus machen. Ne? Kann mir ja viel erzählen, der Kollege. So. Okay. Ja, ich glaub dir. Ah! Nein! Nein! Lass mich raus! Okay. You were right. Ihr hattet recht. Hallo, guten Tag. Oh, was hatte ich hier? Was? Ach, Tintenfass. Ja gut, das kennen wir ja. Die Frage, können wir eine Waffe bekommen? Ich bin neugierig. Oh, hallo.
Ave, and may Vesta watch over you. I'm Equitia. To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit?
Was ist eure Geschichte?
Oh my. I take it people are quite direct where you're from. I suppose it's quite charming in its own way. Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due formality or courtesy ask, "What is your story?"
Tut mir leid, was hätte ich tun sollen?
The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a mutual acquaintance in high office, by which time you would already know how to address me. And then you would find a way to satisfy your curiosity rather more indirectly. But to be honest, I've often thought what an unnecessarily formal way to communicate that is. So, let's do it your way. You just keep being yourself and ask whatever you like. It'll be a refreshing change.
Wie seid ihr hier gelandet?
You know, I'm not entirely sure. But what about you? How did you end up here?
Eine junge Frau namens Karen hat mich bewusstlos aus einem Fluss gezogen und mich dann hierher geschickt.
Karen, you say? And nothing about that name seemed odd to you?
Es ist ein älterer Name, aber dort, wo ich herkomme, nicht ungewöhnlich.
Older. I see. I wonder if... No.
Was wollt ihr sagen?
I apologize. I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just that you've got me thinking. Have you spoken with any of the others about how they arrived here too? I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember and see if you notice any patterns.
In Ordnung, das mache ich.
Good. Thank you. But please be careful.
Okay.
I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you too.
Was ist mit Livia passiert?
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community, darning clothes and cutting hair. She was always so chatty, always seeking out newcomers and asking them where they were from and how they wound up here. And then, about a month ago, she suddenly changed. She withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help, but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows and told us we were ignorant of some pattern.
Okay.
Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the golden rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to you. So be careful, will you?
Ich werde vorsichtig sein.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth and come back to me if you discover any patterns.
Ich werde mich umgehend darum kümmern.
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors. Ave again. Did you find what you need?
Wisst ihr, wie man hier
I
rauskommt?
don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled here until the gods judge us, one way or another.
Was haltet ihr von der goldenen
I'm
Regel?
quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds, as long as we've kept the peace of the gods. We ask for blessings, for good health, bountiful harvest, military victory, and in return, we offer praise, wine, incense, or animals. But here, it seems they require much more of us. I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent tale from our great poet Ovid in his epic Metamorphoses. Would you like to hear it? It is rather long.
Warum nicht? Ich habe Zeit.
Wonderful. It goes like this. Baucis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, they're turned away sharply from house after house, 1,000 in all, until finally they come to the little cottage where Baucis and Philemon lived. Now, the kind old couple had very little to offer, but nevertheless, they invite these strangers into their house and offer them food, wine, and a place to stay. Immediately, the guests make themselves at home. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine, so much so that Baucis, the old lady, begins to worry they're going to run out. and then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher keeps refilling itself, as if by magic, realizing only a select few possess such powers. Says to her husband, Philemon, "I think these men are gods in disguise." Immediately the couple begins apologizing for offering such coarse wine, and the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to be Jupiter, the king of the gods, and Mercury, the trickster god. They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, "You have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place and everyone in it, except you, who we will grant a wish." So old Baucis and Philemon escape up into the mountains safely, and they receive their wish, which is for eternity together. Meanwhile, Jupiter carries through with his threat and wipes that city off the map. Some say the moral of that story is that we must all honor the sacred rituals of guest friendship, the reciprocal obligations owed between hosts and guests.
Das stimmt.
But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves.
Das auch. Ich stimme zu. Oder vielleicht liegt es daran, dass die Götter euch jeden Moment töten können, weil ihr ihren Test nicht bestanden habt und sie müssen euch nicht mal immer sagen, wie die Regeln lauten. Ich stimme zu.
I'm pleased to hear it.
Wie läuft die Wahl?
It must be completed by dusk, just the same as any other official business. It'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger. Why do you ask?
Wer darf wählen?
All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend.
Warum nicht die
Unless they're
Frauen?
running, of course.
Die Frauen dürfen nicht wählen?
That's just the way it's always been, I'm afraid. It never sat right with me either. There are some women who can vote, Vestal priestesses like myself, but in this case, given my role overseeing the election, I've decided to abstain. I can't allow the perception that I'm being anything but fair and independent, but if it's any consolation, there are other ways to influence the outcome of an election.
Wie zum Beispiel?
By using whatever gifts the gods gave you. Nothing untoward, of course.
Was ist eure Aufgabe während der Wahl?
I'm responsible for announcing it and making sure the procedures are followed.
Was kann ich einen anderen Kandidaten
You
vorschlagen?
can, assuming they're eligible and willing to accept the nomination.
Können wir nun mit der Wahl beginnen?
As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk, but I suppose I could hold it sooner, if there's a good reason.
Eine frühzeitige Durchführung kann Konflikte zwischen Wählern behindern.
Yes, I have overheard some rather unpleasant arguments. The last thing we need here is additional conflict. Very well.
Was?
I'll get
Nein?
things started right away.
Was? Oh Gott, ich habe dieses Gefühl, ich mache gerade alles hier noch schlimmer. Nachricht an Octavia. Ein anonymer Freund von Octavia. Möge der Herr euch segnen und bewahren. Es tut mir leid, dass ich nicht riskieren konnte, dies mit euch persönlich zu besprechen. Aber wenn ich recht habe, dann seid ihr ein... Was? Oh Gott! Das wollte ich nicht! Das wollte ich nicht! Warte mal, mal Spiel laden. Na, ja. Nee, das wollte ich überhaupt nicht. Was soll denn das?
Come back to me once you've acquainted yourself with the rest of our neighbors.
Ja, okay. So, jetzt reden wir mal nochmal mit ihr, dass wir das einfach... Wisst ihr, wenn hier nach Haus kommt? Was hat ihr mit den goldenen Ringen? Warum nicht? Ich habe Zeit? Ja, genau, ne? Können wir...
Mean, but
Ich stimme zu. Wie läuft die Wahl? So, wer darf wählen? Genau, hatten wir. Darf ich... Die dürfen nicht wählen. Wie zum Beispiel? Was ist eure Aufgabe? Kann ich einen anderen Kandidaten vorschlagen? Lasst über etwas anderes reden, ne? Ich werde jetzt gehen. Okay, ich will ja jetzt hier nicht irgendwie, ne? Nö, kann ich nicht hören. Wir stehlen nicht, ne? Stehlen ist ja verboten. Ein anonymer Freund von Octavian, möge der Herr euch segnen und bewahren. Es tut mir leid, dass ich es nicht riskieren konnte, dies mit euch persönlich zu besprechen. Aber wenn ich recht habe, dann seid ihr ein Gläubiger wie ich. Vielleicht könnt ihr hier nicht offen beten, aber ihr solltet wissen, dass ihr nicht alleine seid. Wenn ihr jemals das Gefühl habt, dass ihr einen Ort zum Beten braucht, gibt es einen besonderen Ort, der tief in den Höhen hinter dem Theater auf euch wartet. Biegt an der ersten Abzweigung rechts ab und dann an der zweiten wieder. Okay. Kann natürlich auch sein, dass die beobachten, ob die Bürger eine Sünde begehen. Ne? Eine Skulptur der Minerva, der römischen Göttin der Strategie. Ja, das kann sein. Dass das die Augen der Götter sind, die hier leben. Also nicht leben, aber die hier. Das muss doch bestimmt wie so eine Comedy-Serie wahrscheinlich für die Götter sein. Und wen haben wir denn hier? Hallo nicht? Hotarius müsste es sein, oder? Ne, Galerius? Fremdling. Doch, jemand anderes.
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step.
Was ist eure Geschichte?
Can't talk long. Got to stay sharp, but family's from Seleucia on Tigris, Babylon province. But I've been roaming a long time now. Even joined the legions. The 6th. The one they call Ironclads.
Wie seid ihr hier gelandet?
Same way as everyone else.
Warum tragt ihr immer noch eure Legionärsausrüstung?
Because we're all in grave danger. Is it not obvious?
Warum habt ihr keine Waffe?
Magistrate made me toss it in the chasm. Stupid. Going to have to improvise now.
Ihr seid nicht sehr gesprächig, oder?
If you were dealing with what I am, you wouldn't be either.
Was beschäftigt euch?
None of your business. Introiti ipsam commensula.
Lasst uns über etwas anderes reden.
If we have to.
Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
If I did, do you think we'd be having this conversation?
Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
I'll tell you this much. I hate the fact that my survival depends on the common sense of other people.
Was meint ihr damit?
I mean, all these people just bumble along like nothing's wrong. While we're one bad decision away from being wiped out. Like the last lot of people who lived here. Seems like I'm the only one ready for what's coming. Whatever that is. And when it hits, it's everyone for themselves. You've been warned.
Was glaubt ihr? Kommt denn?
I don't know. But did you ever get the feeling some of these statues are watching us when we're not looking? Like they're waiting for something. I don't like it.
Ich glaube, ihr habt recht.
Of course I am.
Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben?
Meliodas. Not sure I trust Sentius. Couldn't even protect his daughter in a city without sin. How's he going to protect us?
Kann ich euch irgendwie umstimmen?
No.
Ich werde jetzt gehen.
Whatever.
Ich glaube, von hier kamen wir, ne? Oder? Nee. Ach, hier sind wir abgebogen. Aber von hier kamen wir, ne? Aber ich würde erstmal mit jedem reden, wenn es genehm ist. Nichts stehlen. Niemanden verletzen nicht. Wer immer dies schrieb, hat offensichtlich keine Chance, es fertigzustellen. Guck mal. Ja, ich denke, das sind wahrscheinlich die Menschen gewesen, die vorher hier gelebt haben. Flüstern, ich kann mich nicht bewegen. Das heißt, das Flüstern kommt wahrscheinlich von diesen goldenen Statuen, die uns um Hilfe bitten. Ulpius liebt Sentile ab, denn Ulpius hat Sentile umgebracht. Oh, okay. Sentile. Ulpius hat Sentile. Sentile wird ja vermisst, nicht?
Salve, Dooley. How are you doing today?
I'm sad. Am I going to die?
Oh Gott.
I don't think so, my friend. It's election day today. Perhaps our new magistrate will be kinder than Sentius and let you out.
I hope so. Galerius, what happens when you die?
You're not going to die anytime soon, Dooley.
My mother told me, when you die, a ferryman helps you cross a river and your spirit lives on in the underworld. Is that true?
Well, yes, but
Is it true that if you were good,
Ist doch eher im Griechischen.
Elysium, but if you were bad, you get punished forever and ever in Tartarus?
something like that, but
If I die and go to Tartarus because they say I've been bad?
I'm not going to let that happen to you, Dooley.
Oh Gott, der Arme.
Thank you, Galerius. Thank you.
Oh Gott, der Arme.
I have more work to do, but I'll visit you again soon, all right?
All right, Galerius. See you then.
Können wir mit ihm nochmal reden? Valerius, hä? Ach, stimmt, es war ja der.
Ah, it's you again. Hope you're settling in, friend. Now, what's on your mind?
Stimmt, Hitarius war der Soldat. Was ist eure Geschichte?
Well, it's a long one and kind of sad, but I don't mind telling it.
Ich habe Zeit.
I'm a farmer. Always have been. I grew up in a small village in Britannia, Camulodunum, with my parents and 2 little sisters. Lovely part of the world. One day, when I was about 20, my father and I were in the top paddock, loading our cart, when some Roman legionaries came along, demanding produce for their men. My father told me to run into the house for his axe, and so I did. Sprinted so fast I almost threw up, but by the time I got back, he was bleeding out on the ground, and our cart was empty. That was my first encounter with the legions. My mother died of a broken heart soon after, and things went downhill from there. I took over the farmstead, but I was young, and it was a struggle. More raiding started before too long. We'd come outside in the morning to find animals missing, our stores pillaged. These legion thugs just took whatever they wanted. One night, when my sisters and I had nothing left to steal, there was a knock at the door. I knew who they were, and what they wanted. I got my father's old axe, pulled the door open real quick, and before that soldier knew it, split his face right down the middle. But there were more of them. I never saw how many, because the next thing I knew, I was waking up with a mouth full of dirt and lungs full of smoke. My home was reduced to ash. My sisters, dead. And they left me alive to see what they'd done. Still burns whenever I think about it.
Oh, der Arme. Tut mir leid, das zu hören.
Yeah, well, I wasn't the only one this happened to. It wasn't long before Boudica led thousands of Britons in a rebellion against the Romans. Unfortunately, there were just too many of them. And those of us who survived, they enslaved. So, then I found myself being transported all the way to Rome to be sold to the highest bidder. I spent a few years working for my new master, learning the Romans' ways, Romanized my name and everything. Tried to escape a couple of times, but they always found me, and I'd just end up right back where I was. I'd probably still be there too, if it wasn't for the stampedes breaking out. You see, about 7 months ago, an enormous fire broke out in Rome. Everybody was running down toward the river, screaming and shouting. I'd never seen anything like it. Human beings acting like cattle. I got swept up with them somehow, and the rest is a blur. The next thing I knew, some stranger was dragging me out of a river. Stumbled across this place and started my life over again.
Ich bin froh, dass jetzt endlich alles gut gegangen ist.
That's what I thought too, for a while. But it seems the gods aren't done tormenting me yet. See, I finally had my own farm again, safe from the grasping hands of the Romans. Or so I thought. Until Sentius the Decurion demanded I hand over all my produce. It's
Los.
for the good of us all, he says. Only he takes the best bits for himself, of course.
Dann bist du genau der...
He even told me if I refuse his demands, I'll break the golden rule. I'm not sure I believe him, but then, what if he's right? So, it turns out our dear old magistrate is no better than the Legion thugs who took everything from me. I'm right back where I began. But don't you worry, Nemesis is waiting. And he'll get his, one day. He'll get his. Forget I said that last part, will you? I get carried away, sometimes.
Klar.
Thanks, friend. I knew I liked you. Anyway, that's enough of me rambling. Was there something else you wanted to talk about?
Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
As much as I'd love to get out of here, the harvest's always more fruitful in another man's field, isn't it? But Centilla, Sentius' daughter, went missing a few weeks back. Could be she found a way out. If anyone knows for sure, it'll be her sister, Sentia. But she'd never tell the likes of me.
Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
Oh, I don't give it much thought these days. I mean, everybody here's got their own view about what we need to do to survive. But I say, let's spend less time arguing about what it means to be good and just get on with it, you know?
Was denkt ihr über die Wahl?
I can't see how I could vote for either candidate. I don't like Sentius much, but Malleolus is almost as bad. Even I could do a better job. Me, a farmer. And I've never given a speech or put on a toga in my life.
Ich werde jetzt gehen.
All right, see you around.
Ich höre schon... Ach, hier. Ich denke eher, das sind die Menschen, die zuvor hier gelebt haben.
Are they?
Eine Nachricht von Dudi, in der seine Unschuld beteuert. I did not do it. Oh Gott, der Arme.
Are they again? Did you find what you need?
Achso, ich werde jetzt gehen.
Come back to me.
Ja.
Hello?
Och Mann, der tut mir
Hello?
leid. Ja, hallo. Was ist eure Geschichte?
My name's Dooley. I live here now because I got in trouble and they said they had to lock me up.
Was habt ihr getan?
I don't know. I don't remember things so good. I think it's just because I was looking for treasure.
Vermutet jemand, dass ihr stehen würdet?
Yes. But I wasn't. I was just looking.
Ist das alles?
They said I did it. More than once. But I can't remember things so good. Then they called me mean names. They called me a liar, Billy.
Eine lästige Pflicht?
Yes. They said I have to live here now. And gave me this letter. But I'm not good with words. Do you think you could read it for me?
Klar. Magistrat Sentius an Duilius. Ich schreibe euch hinsichtlich eures unverbesserlichen antisozialen Verhaltens, was aus eurer Besessenheit von einem sogenannten verlorenen Schatz rührt. Ich fühle mit eurer Notlage und dem Ableben eures Vormunds Hannibal vor einigen Wochen mit, doch ich muss euch eine wichtige Nachricht überbringen. Der Schatz, den ihr sucht, existiert nicht. Durch eure Gedächtnisschwierigkeiten liegt es nahe, dass ihr euch einfach falsch erinnert habt. Vielmehr, da ihr bei verschiedenen Anlässen widerrechtliche Orte betreten habt, einschließlich der Umgebung der Zisterne. Sind wir auch reinspaziert. Die für alle Bürger untersagt ist, bin ich widerwillig zu dem Schluss gekommen, dass ihr eine Gefährdung für die Gemeinschaft darstellt und eure Freiheit eingeschränkt werden muss, solltet ihr die goldene Regel brechen. Ich hoffe, dass dieser Brief euch dabei hilft zu verstehen, warum ihr inhaftiert wurdet, falls ihr zukünftig weitere Gedächtnislücken erleiden solltet.
What does it say?
Hier steht, dass sie euch mehrmals beim Einbruch erwischt und eingesperrt haben, um euch davon abzuhalten, die goldene Regel zu brechen.
My treasure.
Was für ein Schatz.
My friend Hannibal used to look after me. He said he always would. But then, he died. It was very sad. He said if anything ever happened to him, I had to find something very precious hidden away. He gave me this key and made me promise to keep it safe until I found the treasure. But I couldn't find him. All I remember is he said something about the cisterns. But when I went up to the high one, they put me in here. Now nobody looks after me. Except my friend Galerius. And Ek, the priestess lady. She's a nice lady.
Wenn ihr in Schüsse geht, kann ich versuchen herauszufinden, was er aufschließt.
Hannibal said I shouldn't give it to anyone I didn't trust. But maybe you could help me get out of here. Then I would trust you a lot.
Lasst mich mit dem Max darüber reden, euch hier rauszuholen.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Dann ist es vielleicht an der Zeit, dass wir einen neuen Magistrat bekommt. Vielleicht hole ich euch einfach hier raus.
What about the rules?
Achso.
I don't want everyone to get in trouble because I was bad.
Dann ist es vielleicht an der Zeit, dass wir einen neuen Magistrat bekommen.
Like Galerius? He's nice. I like Galerius. He made me a doll and everything. If you help make him magistrate, he can get me out of here, and I can give you the key to my treasure.
Boah.
Hannibal said it was in the cisterns. I can't remember what it was, just that it was way up high and very precious.
Ich werde mich umgehend darum kümmern, ich werde sehen, was ich tun kann. Oh ja. Wisst ihr, wie man hier rauskommt?
You're going to let me out of here? Really?
Nun, ich kann es versuchen. Lasst mich mit dem Magistrat darüber reden, euch hier rauszuholen. Das habe ich nicht gesagt. Ich fragte, ob ihr einen Weg... Weg ist immer so.
Galerius already tried that. He said the magistrate wouldn't listen, no matter what.
Also das kennen wir ja schon. Bam, bam, bam. Ich weiß nicht, was ich tun kann. Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
Gold? You mean treasure?
Reden wir über euren
My
Schatz.
friend Hannibal used to look after me.
Achso.
He said if he gave all I now no.
Okay. Ich werde jetzt gehen.
Bye bye.
Gott, der Arme.
Hello. Have we met before?
Oh Gott, der hat ja wirklich richtige Gedächtnislücken. Gott, der Arme. Dann ist wahrscheinlich doch eigentlich gut, dass er...
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. A real nasty sort, with his face all covered up. And he's got a weapon. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule.
Ich weiß nicht, was ich... Wie? Ich habe keine Waffe. Moment, wer seid ihr?
Fabia, but now's not the time. Are you going to help or not?
Wie? Ich habe keine Waffe. Ich weiß nicht, was ich tun kann, ja.
Thank you. He's still in there, somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Was? Nein. Vielleicht sollten wir uns nicht da drin treffen?
What? We don't have time for this. I have to go.
Vergesst, ich weiß nicht, warum ich das gesagt habe. Okay.
The shrine is collapsing.
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh Fabian, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl.
Warte mal. Ah. Das war Auto. Okay, warte mal. Ja, ich will nur mal kurz gucken, ob wir das verhindern können, ne? Es gibt nicht ohne Grund Speicherstände. Spiel speichern. Machen wir das mal so, ja. So. Ja, Baba. Wie? Ich habe keinen Moment. Was seid ihr? Wie? Ich habe keine Waffe?
None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now this man's bow is the only one in the city. You'll just have to improvise.
Warum ist das mein Problem?
Are you daft or just callous? If you don't stop him, we're all going to die.
Einfach gefühllos. Viel Glück. Ich werde mich umgehend darum kümmern.
Thank you. He's still in there. Somewhere. I have to hide. Find me in this empty shrine when it's over.
Habt ihr es gehört?
Hear what?
Ich hörte eine Stimme, die flüsterte Nein.
What? We don't have time for this.
Oh nein.
I have to go.
Nein, vergesst. Ich weiß nicht, warum ich das gesagt habe. Nein. Oh, okay, wir können sie anscheinend doch nicht retten.
The shrine is collapsing.
Aber der arbeitet einfach weiter, ne? Fleißig, fleißig.
Fabian, no! Oh God, she's dead. Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her.
Oder hätte ich sie retten können?
Fabian, why did you have to go?
Nochmal habe ich mich auch gefragt, Fremdling.
Poor sweet girl.
Warnung, Achtung, Schrein kann jeden Moment einstürzen. Ja, super, gut, ganz toll. Oh, ja, und es geht einfach weiter.
I can't believe she is dead. Fabia, I mean. She walked into that empty shrine, and the next moment she is lying dead under a pile of rubble. The gods are cruel and unjust. She was like a daughter to me. I'm sorry, friend. It's not right for me to lay my burden upon you.
Sieht ein bisschen griechisch aus.
I can't believe the gods are...
Oder warte mal. Wir von der anderen Seite erstmal reingehen. So. Kann ja sein, ne? Wenn wir gehen nochmal die Runde rum. Dass wir... So, warte. Dass wir uns hier erstmal umschauen. Vielleicht können wir sie doch... Also... Eine Skulptur von Ares, dem griechischen Gott des Krieges und den Römern als Mars bekannt. Eine Skulptur sogar in der Strategie. Ja, ich denke. Eine Einkaufsliste. Dinge, die ich kaufen muss, sobald ich geflogen bin. Villa auf dem Aventino Rom. 2 Spendiger Streitwagen. Sitz im Senat. 4 Spendiger Streitwagen. Villa an der Bucht von Neapel. 10 Spendiger Streitwagen. 12 Sklavinnen. Blast und mollig. Frechheit. Jesus. Die Frage, können wir denen helfen? Ich würde denen echt gerne helfen. Ein kleiner Hausschrein, in dem die alten Römer täglich um Schutz gebetet haben. Er hat ihnen ja sehr viel gebracht.
How'd you do? Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic little slice of the Empire. I'm Dacius. Terrible shame what happened to Julia, but we just have to carry on, don't we?
Was ist mit ihr passiert? Was ist eure Geschichte?
You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale.
Ich höre.
All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring rare and precious objects liberated from the enemies of Rome. Mostly sculptures, vases, the occasional slave, fetch a magnificent price in Roman high society. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, hoping to escape by barge. So I gathered my coins and some priceless vases into a cart and had my most loyal slave girl, pretty young thing named a Camphor, push it for me. All the way down to the river, I'm elbowing through a stampede of people, turning back now and then to make sure she hasn't legged it with my valuables. But, to my surprise, we make it, and I see this barge loading up, and it's so full it's almost sinking. But the captain's happy to take my coin, so I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl."
Ja, den Wagen
So I
genommen,
did
oder?
what anyone would have done.
Ihr habt den Wagen gewählt, richtig?
Of course I chose the cart. I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber.
Also habt ihr sie schließlich doch mitgenommen?
No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? That was a bloody fortune. Only, I guess I must have hit my head or something, because everything went black.
Das ist bestimmt der
When I
Fluss.
came to, I'd washed up on
Und
the
das
riverbank,
Wasser.
not far from here, with nothing in the world but a single silver coin.
Das ist bestimmt der Fluss, weil wir haben ja auch hier einen Fluss, der ja durch diese Stadt fließt. Wahrscheinlich dann der Fluss, der auch in der Außenwelt fließt. Und sobald du dieses Wasser berührst, wirst du bewusstlos und dann hier wahrscheinlich angespült. Wir sind mal so nett, auch obwohl ich es überhaupt nicht fühle, mein Beileid.
Thank you, friend. But it turns out it might have been a stroke of good fortune, because this place is a veritable treasure trove. Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the treasury of Rome. If I can just figure out how to get it out of here.
Wisst ihr, wie man hier
I'm
rauskommt?
afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Wirklich? Das ist mir nicht aufgefallen. Danke, ich werde die Augen offen halten. Was haltet ihr von der goldenen Regel?
Terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold just lying around, it's practically worthless. At least down here. Of course, I have an idea for generating real wealth, but what I need is a bow.
Wir können ihnen den Bogen
A
geben.
simple composite bow. I've scoured this city from top to bottom with no luck. But if you happen to find one, bring it to me and we'll talk.
Hat der Magistrat dich ein Waffenverbot erlassen?
Oh, well, technically yes, but that just means you'll need to be a little discreet.
Ich weiß sehen, was ich tun kann.
Thank you, friend.
Wem werdet ihr eure Stimme geben?
Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
Ich möchte, dass ihr Sentius wählt.
Not going to happen.
Ich werde jetzt
Very
gehen.
well. Another time.